It's all new tonight at 10. Investigators in Dardanelle are searching for a missing 20-year-old woman and her 6-week-old baby. They were last seen at a park this morning in the woman's vehicle. Police first responded to the park after reports of a suicidal person. Maya Ellison spent the day with investigators and has the latest now on this search.
Search and rescue crews have been at Veterans Memorial Park in Dardanelle searching for a mother and her 6-week-old baby since before sunrise.
We know that she's missing. We know that she's wearing a pink sweater and black skirt.
That's the last known clothing description of 20-year-old Ashlyn Boxnick and her child, Kaylin Dream Wilson. Dardanelle police say they were dispatched to find a possible person in crisis at around 2 a.m. on Thursday. Officers quickly located Boxnick's vehicle at this boat ramp at Veterans Memorial Park, a discovery later confirmed by surveillance footage.
Shows her park her vehicle around 2:30 hours, get out of the vehicle, go to the passenger rear side, and what appears to grab a item or a child out of the back of the vehicle and then walk towards the water line.
Dardanelle Police Chief Joseph Patrick says that moment of footage triggered a full-scale search effort by 6 a.m. Now on the water, more than 5 different agencies joined the operation. Chief Patrick says the collaboration is critical given the scale of the search.
Yeah, we're going to keep on going as long as we can. We've got all the surrounding agencies out here. Conway County, they're the next county down. They even come all the way up here to give us a hand, give us a boat. Pope County's out here.
And it isn't just law enforcement. The community is showing up too. Friends from Ashlyn's church gathered here today, heartbroken, but committed to join in the search for the loving mother they know.
She was a growing woman that, you could see she had struggles in life, but she was really growing. She was strengthening herself. She was just a strong woman altogether. Loved her baby. She seemed like she was a good mom, and I'm sure she was. Just, it's just tragic. Something happened.
Andrew Niswagner says he saw both Ashlyn and Kaylin just this week. He says the disappearance has left the entire community in shock.
Be sure and check on the people you love. If you really love people, reach out to them, especially new moms,
Though emotions run high, everyone is focused on bringing Ashlyn and Kaylin home.
Was Maya Ellison reporting. Now, law enforcement agencies are expected to start back up tomorrow morning at 7:30. If you have any information in this case, you are urged to contact the Yell County Sheriff's Office at the number there at the bottom of your screen. Fort Smith police, meanwhile, issuing a new warning after they seized a new synthetic opioid 100 times stronger than fentanyl. It's called carfentanil, originally used as a tranquilizer for large animals. Now, police say the life-saving drug Narcan may not be effective during an overdose on the drug unless it's used multiple times in high doses. The department says it wants to get the word out as these opioids can easily be disguised as prescribed painkillers.
If you don't have a doctor directly prescribe this to you, if you're not getting it directly yourself from a licensed pharmacy, then you could be at risk. And we want people to know about this and to be scared of it.
Police say it only takes a microscopic amount of carfentanil to cause an overdose. City workers in Alma issuing a warning after an algae bloom was detected near Lake Alma. Officials say a hiker spotted it in a puddle just off the waterfall trail east of the lake. They later traced it back to a pond nearby on private property with livestock in it. City's Public Works Director says it's common this type of year, but they're telling you to keep your pets and children out of the water.
It's not necessarily deadly, but it can make you very ill. And that usually occurs if somebody is swimming in a body of water that has the cyanobacteria and they ingest it.
Police also says the lake has 3 solar-powered mixing units that help prevent algae blooms. Lockheed Martin, the company that builds the F-35 jet fighter, is growing fast in Fort Smith. Less than 2 years after opening operations at Ebbing Air National Guard Base, the company is more than doubling the people it plans to hire. 5 News reporter Taylor Howard tells us how this will impact the local economy.
More than 230 jobs are coming to Fort Smith. Lockheed Martin says it's growing its workforce at Ebbing Air National Guard Base as the F-35 training mission expands.
As the FMS mission continues to grow in Fort Smith, as we originally planned 3.5, 4 years ago, It requires more employees from Lockheed to maintain the aircraft as they fly, but also train our foreign allies to do the maintenance on the aircraft.
Lockheed Martin builds the F-35 fighter jet. The company originally planned to hire about 110 employees in Fort Smith. It now plans to employ more than 230. 5 News reached out to Lockheed Martin to ask why the company is expanding now, whether those jobs will be filled locally, and what they'll pay. We weren't able to speak with any before our deadline. They did say it's hiring aircraft mechanics, IT specialists, logistic coordinators, and security personnel.
It's high-paying jobs too. They estimate that these jobs are between $80,000 and $150,000 per job. It's great news for our economy in Fort Smith for sure.
Mayor George McGill also sent 5 News a statement saying the expansion brings more high-quality jobs and investment to Fort Smith. Allen says more countries are joining the F-35 training mission in Fort Smith. This week, representatives from Singapore, Germany, and the Czech Republic were in town. He says he expects hundreds of families to eventually move to the area.
This is just the beginning. We're sitting around 15 or 16 jets right now. We will end up at 48 jets. The number of jobs will continue to rise.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Taylor Howard, 5 News.
Lockheed Martin says it's already starting the hiring process. We've included a link to the company's career website on our website at 5newsonline.com. A new assessment is helping the city of Fayetteville now identify what's needed for housing as more people move to the area. Chief Housing Officer Marley Stark says huge growth is creating a need for more housing types, and they're creating a 3-year plan to address those ideas.
80% of new households since 2019 in Fayetteville are actually family households. I think that comes as a surprise to some folks that think about housing growth and housing needs, just single family homes, not just large apartment complexes, but also needing kind of everything in between to really meet the needs of growing households in Fayetteville.
Stark says the Housing Action Plan will continue through 2028 with a focus also on rewriting city codes and housing affordability. Visit Bentonville has issued a new tourism plan outlining 5 areas the organization will focus on to continue to support bringing travelers to this region. One involves keeping shops in the downtown square locally owned and expanding retailers outside of the square into a central district. Visit Bentonville also wants a large convention center built and expanding sports facilities to host youth tournaments. They also want to create more entertainment options and bring the first destination spa resort to the city. Tomorrow marks 5 years since Pea Ridge police officer Kevin Apple was killed in the line of duty. He was killed after a hit and run at a gas station in Pea Ridge, and tomorrow the police department will host a vigil memorial at Slack Street and Townsend Way starting at 9 tomorrow night. They'll be providing blue lights for the ceremony and say they hope citizens can light the town blue in honor of Officer Apple. We have learned tonight legendary Arkansas broadcaster B.J. Sams has died. He spent more than 55 years in the broadcast business, including many at our sister station KTHV in Little Rock. Sams was one of the most recognizable figures in Arkansas airwaves, getting inducted into the State Walk of Fame in 2012, the State Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2024. He began his career in radio in Tennessee before making his way to TV in the 60s. He left for Hawaii for a 9-year stint, then returning to the natural state where he led the morning show at KTHV for decades before he retired in 2009. He was 91 years old.